Okay guys, so I will admit that when I was seeing the trailers for this movie, I was like, you know what? Why not? I'll go see it. And then I saw it. And now we're gonna talk about it. Roll the intro.
Hi, I'm Albert.
Hi, I'm Danny.
Hi, I'm Jazz.
Hi, I'm Toby.
Welcome to Gamer State.
Victor Frankenstein. Or how James McAvoy says it, Frankenstein. Yes, that's actually how he said it in this movie. Well, I guess that's how you do say it when you're drunk. Oh, well, okay guys, so this movie, my hopes for this movie was not too high. I was thinking that, you know what, maybe these two actors are probably gonna be the shining silver light of this movie. And they most definitely were. James McAvoy and, excuse me, and Daniel Radcliffe were freaking awesome in this movie. I like how James McAvoy played Victor Frankenstein, and he kind of played this mad scientist like how Tony Stark is portrayed, just this narcissistic, brilliant yet dumb, well, not really dumb, but like just over the top mad scientist. And I loved his performance in this movie. He was really good. He did seem like he was overacting just a bit, but I feel like either that was because the movie was just slightly incoherent of how it wanted him to act, or he's a mad scientist and that's what mad scientists do. So, but Daniel Radcliffe plays Igor, and Igor is by far the main focus of this movie. I know you're probably thinking that it was focused on Mr. Frankenstein, Victor Frankenstein over here, but this movie is telling the story from the eyes of Igor by portrayed by Daniel Radcliffe. And I gotta say that Daniel Radcliffe, he is a good actor. He's been in some weird movies now and again, but he is a phenomenal actor in this movie. And I feel like the chemistry between James McAvoy and Daniel Radcliffe just seems so good, just so organic that it just sat well with me, and it was just so good. Like the acting was not what I guess brought this movie down. And I'm going to talk about what kind of brought this movie down in a little bit. Now let's talk about the plot itself. The plot itself, it's what you've come to know from a Frankenstein movie. You know, Daniel Radcliffe as Igor, you know, teams up with, becomes friends with James McAvoy, also playing Victor Frankenstein, and then they do cool shit together. And the shit that they do is, you know, it's pretty cool. I will say this though, they did use some props here and there, and I like that because it looked really real. But then there was a slight transition from using props to using CGI, and I felt like that transition just was complete. It felt like it got away from the editors, and it really did. The other visuals of the movie, you can tell if when they were on a sound stage, a green screen, whatever. But other times, I feel like the sets were actually really cool, and they were really unique in their own way. The story and how Igor is being portrayed in this movie. So Igor is pretty much looked at worthless. That's what he is in the beginning of this movie. He's never felt no love, no nothing. And you can really feel that in the beginning of this movie. He's just, you know, getting beat up, made fun of, and I felt so bad for him. You're just rooting for him in the beginning of this movie. Igor evolves throughout the movie. You know, he goes from being worthless to being worth something, and he gets this confidence throughout the movie. Although it's a little bit too quick, I feel like, because he goes like from this clown, from this clown to, you know, being like this suave looking guy at a ball, maybe I want to say 45 minutes into the movie, and I feel like that's a little bit too fast. Maybe give it an hour, maybe 20 minutes, maybe he gets there. Let's talk about what made this movie, you know, go a little bit downhill, because even with a movie like this, and I feel like it's a very underrated movie because I feel like this movie's still pretty good, it does have its flaws. And getting towards the last final act of the movie, I feel like the director did not know how to go beyond this point in the movie, because you can tell that everybody that just looked like they were a bad guy in this movie becomes, I guess, the best way I can put it is like a cartoon villain. You know, they just have that weird transition where they just go like super villain-like, you know, it's weird. But then obviously towards the ending of the movie, you know what happens in any Frankenstein movie. They finally create the monster that we've all come to know. Now, some people do have problems with this last climactic scene. I'm not gonna, you know, tell you all of it, but I'm gonna say that, you know, some people say that it's really, it almost resembles like a video game. And I have to agree, it kind of does, but I also have to look at it from a standpoint of, well, they're in a time where they don't have that many guns, and then the guns that they did have kind of got blown up. And then somebody else was using a gun, and that did not work out too well. And then I guess you have to kind of use environmental kills to defeat the boss in the end of this movie. So with that being said, I mean, other than it had almost cliche villains, a story arc that you already know what's gonna happen towards the end of it, but I feel like the unique perspective being told from Igor and the fantastic performances that were given by James McAvoy and Daniel Radcliffe still makes this movie, you know, pretty good. And to wrap this up, guys, let's finally give this movie a rating, and I'm gonna have to give this movie a 4 out of 5. You know, by all means, is it better than every other movie that's already out? No, but I feel like if you're not looking for any of those other movies that you want to just kind of change of pace, then I feel like this movie is still pretty good to watch. And that's it for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, by all means hit that like button, as well as tell us what you thought about the movie. What did you like, what did you did not like? Leave it all down there in the comment section below. I'll be sure to check that out. As well, if you thought this video completely sucked, there's a dislike button right there for you to press, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.